That's better. This thing doesn't really seal properly. I'm trying to do this behind the camera. Ah. And that is everything. That is the firing demo of this blaster. It's not accurate enough to shoot outside. There's a dart. But the range is pretty absurd because it fires about 180 FPS. I did chrono test this at the last match. 180 FPS average. A bit inconsistent, but that's because the seal is messed up and it's not super accurate. I wouldn't use this in a game because I have my Swift. If I didn't have my Swift, this would be good. I assume that the accuracy problem is because the barrel to dart gate fit is absolutely garbage, and this is not the optimized barrel. A scar barrel would probably fix some of the accuracy issues, but I don't want to prime this thing all day, so this will probably just be a shelf piece. Because it does look kind of cool, it's unique. I haven't seen anything like this before other than 3D printed cool things. But this is Jank, and that's what we do on this channel. So if you did like this video, and if you did like this blaster and want to see more things like this, hopefully this video will be not too late. And that's it. Of course, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay tactical. Now you can see the sledge fire.